Alright, what's up guys? NinjaDeathStrike here, bringing you another Pokemon TCGO match. In this match, I'm using my Aspertia City Gym deck that uses Gigas and Tornadus and Bouffalant, and just tries to beef them up as much as possible with a bunch of Eviolites and Aspertia City Gym to give them a bunch of extra HP, and then uses Ho-Oh for a little bit of added energy acceleration along with DCE. So not sure what I'm going to be up against, so I decide better to start Tornadus. He is the faster attacker, and he's really good against fighting, obviously, which is good since the other two are weak to it, so he covers that nicely. But my opponent flips over an Eel, and so it looks like I'm going to be playing an electric variant, which is not so good for me, just because I started with Tornadus. So he's basically going to be two prizes. But then right off the bat, he goes for a Heavy Ball, and then he plays Pokeball, which, okay. I don't know why you would ever choose to play Pokeball, but he did. Maybe he doesn't have a lot of cards. I mean, it is pretty nice when you get a Heads. It's free card, any Pokemon you want, so that's pretty good, but flippy cards tend to be not very reliable. So then he plays Professor Elm. So there's that. Playing out of format cards, a big no-no. And yeah, not cool. But whatever, we'll just see where it goes. So he attaches to that Zekrom. Can't tell if that's a lightning or a double colorless energy. But that'll probably be all he's able to do this turn. He already used his supporter to get an evolution card. So he'll probably have to pass. He did play very slowly this game, so I tried to cut out all of the major slow points, but I'm not sure if I got them all, so I apologize in advance if I missed a few. Anyhow, I top deck Bouffalant, who might be quite good in this matchup, but I don't want to put him down quite yet. I decided to go for Regigigas instead, just because he's honestly more fun to play. So I'm going to use my Skyla. Not sure what I want to grab here. Okay, I get an Ultra Ball. Probably going to use that, yeah, to discard some energy in order to get Ho-Oh, and then next turn I can Juniper and get all that stuff in the discard pile. So not a bad plan. I don't feel the pressure to go for the Juniper turn 1. There's not much I'm going to be able to do in this situation. So I may as well just set up for a strong turn 2. So I pass it back to him. I know he's obviously going to get 1 electric this turn. Hopefully he won't get 2. I don't think he has any energy in his discard pile, so that's good. Even if he does get them, he's not really going to be able to do anything with them yet. And they'll also give me easy catcher targets to slow him down a bit. My deck is okay against Eels. It's actually not that effective at taking out the Eels, but it is pretty good at dealing with the attackers, since most Eels attackers are EXs. Some still play a regular Zekrom, but he's actually less common than he was. So it's almost always going to be EX attackers, and that's why Bouffalant's so strong. He's actually the main attacker in this deck, since with Aspertia City Gym and Eviolite and Bouffer, it makes him very, very hard to take out in one hit. So my opponent can't do anything here except evolve and pass, which is fine with me. I actually top decked a DCE, which is great. That's going to let me charge up Regigigas for his first one. Is it Gia Impact? I forget what his first attack is called. But he wasn't able to get his Dynamo out of the active spot, so that's going to let me take him out for prize. Giga Power, that's it. I chose not to go for the extra attack because I don't know if Eviolite is working how it's supposed to, whether it would reduce the damage to me or not. And I figured it was probably broken. But yeah, I didn't want to put more extra damage on myself if I didn't have to. So he does have enough energy to Strong Volt this turn, which is going to hurt a lot. Luckily, though, he doesn't have free retreat, and he only has one eel, so he's not going to be able to charge up too easily. And if you can see me circling the text there, this is the first time I've seen Hugh played, and the text that comes up on the side that tells you what you're supposed to do is like size 2 font. It's impossible to read. So I just found that hilarious. I don't know how that happened, like why it's that size, but who knows how they get some of these stupid bugs and glitches in this game. It's almost like they try. So I have to discard 2 cards, which isn't a big deal. I have cards that I don't really need. The energy I can throw in the discard and get it back with Ho-Oh when I go for a rebirth. So I get hit for a Strong Volt here. That was probably not the best idea for him. I wonder what I'm going to grab. Probably the gym, yeah. Get my Espiritia City gym. So that gives all my guys 20 extra HP. And yeah, he hit me for 130, and Raging Hammer does 50 plus 10 for each damage counter. So that's going to hit for, drumroll, 180. Which is going to be amazing. I'm going to get to absolutely destrolish this Ho-Oh. Looks like I'm going to try for the rebirth first, but I don't get it. So that's not a big deal. I don't need it yet. But there we go. 180 damage. Raging Hammer, which just feels so good. I know some of you guys probably remember the Gigas deck I tried to build back when Next Destinies came out that wasn't very good. This one is a lot better. And anytime you get to Raging Hammer and one-shot an EX, it's just amazing. So good. So, yeah, I destroy his attacker, take out all of the energy he has on board. He's going to be left with just a bunch of Dynamos and not a whole lot to do with them. So he needs to get another attacker on board this turn. He chooses to evolve the active, which probably means he has a switch. If he doesn't, it's just going to die. So I would have probably been better to hang on to that eel for the bench. And then it looks like he's going to take a long time to think, and I didn't cut it out. So yeah, at this point, I'm in amazing position. I'm not too worried. I have a DCE, and if I can get a Ho-Oh, I can, stream my attackers. And he has no attackers on board, so that's even better. It's just going to let me charge up Bouffalant this turn. I get a Juniper off my prizes, and then top deck a Juniper. So that's a little unfortunate, but I don't need to play a supporter this turn, so just going to Raging Hammer 180 on the eel and get that thing out of here. And now I only need to take 2 more prizes, and I don't believe I've played a single catcher yet, so should not be too hard to come back from here. Getting that Gigas, letting him attack into me for that much damage and then not killing me just completely destroyed him. Gigas is a really big pain in the butt if you don't have catchers to get around it. And it is a little bit harder to get around it now that we don't have Junk Arm. So definitely worked out here. He didn't really have a choice. I guess he could have passed, but then I just would have attacked him continuously until he did something about it. So he did Dynamotor to his other eel, his Dynamo. So he goes for the Dynamo and sends it up, I guess, so he can retreat if he needs to. I get hit with Hugh again, but it doesn't bother me. I don't want the N or the Tornadus at all, so I don't care about throwing those away. I have a Juniper anyhow, so probably going to have to trash all this stuff at one point later in the game anyhow, so it doesn't really bother me to discard them. He heavy balls for another Zekrom, and he's just going to Dynamotor to it once, and then he might pass. I don't know if he even attaches to it. We'll have to wait and see here. Yeah, he's going to take his time again. Alright, well, I thought I got all of these spots, but I guess I missed a couple. Yep, and then he just passes. Alright, so a catcher wins me the game, which means I'm just going to go for it. Go for the Juniper. Try and hit the catcher. Unfortunately, I don't. which is really strange. I haven't seen any. Unless I discarded some early, I haven't seen any the whole game. But it's not a big deal. I wanted this Regigigas to go all the way, but there is potential he could take me out now. If he sends up Zekrom, puts a DCE, and then uses Glinting Claw and gets a heads, he will do 50 damage. No, that wouldn't kill me. I have 200 hit points now because of the gym, so never mind. Yeah, it's really not a big deal that I missed the catcher. He can't kill me. There's no way for him to take me out this turn. He doesn't have enough energy for a Strong Bolt, and it's just... yeah, he's not going to be able to do enough damage thanks to Aspertia City Gym. I will survive with 20 hit points left, even if he gets a heads on Glinting Claw. But looks like, yep, he's going to go for the Juniper and discard the Lightning Energies, trying to get the DCE, which I guess is okay. It doesn't really matter at this point. There's no way for him to prevent me from winning except to take down this Regigigas, and he's not able to, so the only thing left to do is Raging Hammer for 180, and that's how Regigigas swept the entire game. 6-0, Regigigas is the MVP, took out 2 EXs by himself in one shot. So yeah, definitely a great match, really fun deck if you like using Regigigas, which you should. And I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. So thumbs up if you liked it, leave me comments, check out the links below, and I will have more coming your way shortly. Thanks, guys.